Come one, come all to the first uh, hot take of this year. So, for those of you that don't know, hot take is where I take a certain aspect of something that I would like to rant about or something I'd like to talk about and just go with it for about 8 to 10 minutes. So, today, being the first month of 2021, being the first week of 2021, we're going to be critiquing last year. And boy, oh boy, what a year we had last year. Um, One of the most major things, obviously, is the Rona. We got that we had to deal with, along with a lockdown, a pandemic, tensions, stuff like that. I'm not going to get too much into the political aspect of what happened last year, but I will get into my thoughts on the whole lockdown and the whole pandemic. This pandemic did not need to be as long as it did if people listened. If people decided to stay indoors, wear a mask, not go out partying, not go out doing stupid things, then we might have already been able to pass this and only have to worry about taking the vaccination if it were to be out broken out again. But things didn't go that way because we're American and we want to keep our rights, even if that means endangering other people. That's fine by me. Which that really kind of ruined this entire year. We basically lived in fear this entire year about what can happen next. And it almost was like one month after another, something had to happen. I mean, this whole year felt like a decade to me. This whole year went so slow and at the same time so fast. Um, we didn't really get to do anything that we wanted to, we as a collective world, because we were limited by this pandemic. We've lost so many small businesses just because of this pandemic, just because people did not want to cooperate, and our governments have failed us on that end too. That's the most political I'm going to get in this. But it's sad to see that this is how people act, that this is basically true human nature, is that nobody really cares about anybody but themselves. Um, I had to work this entire pandemic, and it kind of shows, to me at least, how people kind of act in that, which is sad because people will overstock on things, will just react terribly when things don't go their way, and then they just treat others that are either in their way or they're trying to help them terribly just because they're in a bad mood, that they can't go to a movie theater or they can't leave the country. Um, and it's kind of sad to see that. But on that too, um, certainly hope that things will be better this year. And I mean, there is a lot of stuff that literally happened that I feel scared to talk about because I could get demonetized, even though I'm not monetized to begin with. But that's kind of what the last year was about, was just people being pent up and angry to attach their houses, and then going, and the moment that we get a little bit of that freedom back, um, we just go at war with each other, and we find other things to pick apart, and just other things from Mother Nature happen to us, and other things that we had to deal with this whole year. This whole year was traumatizing to everybody. This whole year just took some glimpse of our soul away because everything happening every day just was so traumatizing to everybody that we're going to have a whole generation of people living in fear on certain aspects. And this is 100% true when you look back at people that lived during the Depression era, where you've had a whole generation of people that had no trust in banks, that would store their money in a mattress, that would buy minimal just because that's how they were raised and that's how things were back then. In 20 years, this generation, my generation, we'll probably be very clean freaks. We'll probably worry about other things that the future generations are going to take for granted because we had to live through this pandemic. Now, thank goodness that we hopefully have a vaccine coming very soon. People are already getting vaccinated. But this is the other political aspect that I'm going to get in that's very irritating to me. I am recording this in 2020 still, so I don't know what's going on starting January 8th. But it ticks me off that this vaccine is supposed to be coming to people who are essential workers and nurses and stuff like that. But all I see in the news and all I see on papers at my job is how politicians are getting it first and stuff like that. And it's for whatever reason my video cut out there. So, but we're gonna be a lot more, hopefully, sanitized and stuff like that come that generation. And probably are going to be hoarding toilet paper like there's no tomorrow, and our grandkids are going to be making fun of us, but that's how it's going to be. So this video's a little bit shorter than planned. I thought it actually, with how 2021, it was going to be a 20-minute video, but I feel that if I were to talk more in depth about 2020, that's what I was saying, was I don't understand why they think that politicians are more essential than nursing workers or anything, or that they aren't even reporting about the nurses and the doctors and all the actual heroes that helped us through this pandemic over all these famous politicians getting it beforehand. And now I'm going to drop the political aspect. But yeah, the video is a little bit shorter than I thought it would be, which is fine. Make sure you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will give a 2020 a rating of 1 out of 10. So make sure you guys help out the channel and subscribe. Remember, if we reach 100 subscribers, we're going to do a Instagram live stream party. So make sure you guys do that. Have a great day, y'all.